Sir, no chewing on bones when I'm trying to record audio. Thank you. If you've just clicked on this video and you're interested in learning how to book destination weddings and elopements, welcome. No, this video is not going to be clickbait for you. And no, I'm not going to ramble on and not give you anything useful and helpful to help you figure out how to do this. Seriously, I'm planning on giving you a roadmap to help you figure out how to better set your business up to increase your odds of booking destination weddings and elopements. But I will challenge you in this on the forefront of watching this video. This video is just a talking head video. It's not a quick get in, get out, and grab the information and go. If you don't have the time and or patience to sit through this entire video, I don't think you're gonna have what it takes to book weddings outside your local market. And I only say this as an encouragement to you. I don't mean to sound harsh, but I'm saying it for two reasons. First, I don't claim to know everything, but I've had a lot of success in finding destination wedding clients over the last few years. And if you don't have the patience to sit down, calm your mind, and listen to what I have to say, I don't think you'll have the patience to do the work that you need to do to book these types of weddings. Secondly, destination weddings and elopements aren't your run-of-the-mill backyard or barn wedding. Destination wedding brides and grooms are looking for someone that really stands out to them. And if you don't have the drive to stand out, do things differently, and put in all this work, you probably won't do the things I'm encouraging you to do in this video anyway. But for the vast majority of you out there that are watching this video, that are ready, motivated, want to listen, and want to dive into this incredible industry, grab a notepad and pen and let's get to it. Now, not everything I'm going to say is necessarily going to be information that's going to make your brain melt out of your head when you hear it. Some of it you might want to skip over, some of it you might say, duh, I already know this, let's get to the good stuff. But I encourage you to slow down and listen to that stuff because it is the good stuff. Even the things we think we know the most about are still riddled with information that we can learn from when others offer their unique view on it. So this video is my unique view on how to book destination weddings and elopements. If you've been doing this for a while or you're just getting into it, I encourage you to join our Facebook group for destination wedding and elopement videographers to continue learning more about all things travel wedding related. I have a link to that group down in the description of this video. Also, if you've actually already booked a destination wedding and you're working on that film, I've created an ebook short that I'll give to you for free to help take that destination wedding film to the next level. Link to that is down in the description of this video as well. One more note before we dive in. This video is completely about getting those destination wedding leads, not the vernacular you should use to persuade your clients to book you or the pricing you should lay out to secure that lead. This one's all about getting the destination wedding lead to pop up in your inbox. Oh yeah, by the way, my name's Stanton Giles, owner of Films by Stanton, and about 85% of the weddings I film every year are destination weddings and elopements. And it's been like that since year 2 of starting my business. I'm super glad you're here, and I'm really excited to share with you about how to find these destination wedding leads. Let's get to it. Okay, so remember when I said that not everything that I'm going to say is necessarily going to make your brain melt out of your head because of how mind-blowing the information may or may not be. My first point is right along those lines of thinking, and as we dive in, I want to start by encouraging you in one thing in particular. You have to change. And you can't keep doing the same things that you've been doing and expect different results. Many people call that notion insanity, and I tend to agree. Oftentimes we get caught up wondering why we aren't where we want to be with our businesses, but don't stop to notice that we've been doing the exact same thing for so long and somehow thinking that our hopes and dreams will get us where we want to go. Truly, destination weddings and elopements are the fun side of the wedding videography industry, or at least I'm inclined to think so. Exotic locations, epic adventure sessions, and incredible love stories are all reasons why I'm drawn to doing travel weddings. But just hoping that these cool weddings are going to come and fall into our inbox is not enough. I had to massively change things in my business in order to start getting destination wedding leads. So that's what I want to encourage you in right now, to change your mindset, change how you operate, and change what you're willing to do. And I promise that if you put in the effort, you will see success at some point. It might not be as immediate as we want it to be because as humans we want things quick, but it'll come. Stick with it and don't be discouraged. Secondly, we also need to change the way that we see our website, our social media pages, and our businesses in general. You've heard this before, but I'll say it again. Your Instagram, your YouTube, Vimeo, and your website, these are all the storefront of your business. In this digital age, when a potential client clicks on your website, they might as well be walking into a brick and mortar store and looking around at what you have to offer. And in the same way that we make decisions in seconds about whether we like people, a picture, or a place, potential clients are going to immediately soak up your storefront and what it looks like in as little as 2 seconds. So you need to clean up your storefront. And by clean it up, I don't mean that you have to have some cookie cutter Instagram account and be obsessed with what your grid looks like. I just mean that if you want to start booking travel weddings, you have to stop posting every single wedding that you're shooting locally. Look, I love all of my couples, and I mean it, but I don't post every single wedding that I deliver because not every single wedding that I shoot happens to fall in line with what I want my dream client to resonate with. I want my dream client to stumble across my page and drool over what I'm putting out there for them to see. Now, sure, there is the argument to be made that if you limit yourself to posting only certain weddings, you're decreasing your exposure because less brides, planners, and other vendors are resharing your work and promoting your name. But remember, we're trying to change things up here, and if we keep doing the same thing that we've been doing because we are scared of losing local wedding bookings, then we need to change that mindset. So let me say it again. We need to change how we view our businesses and all content surrounding them. And as a furtherance of this point, we have to decide what we really want. When I say dream client, there's a definition that immediately pops into my head of what a dream client is for me as Stanton Giles. Maybe for you, that's a high-end ballroom wedding. Perhaps it's an intimate 4-hour elopement on a mountaintop in Colorado. Or it could be a massive 200-person rager in Tulum. Regardless of what it is, you have to decide what you want your business to look like. By choosing the films you release on YouTube, the copy you put on your website, and the post you share on Instagram and Facebook, you are actively laying out what your brand and business is. And your dream clients are looking for someone that falls in line with what they are looking for. So, find out who your dream client is, what your dream client wants, and tailor your business to make them absolutely jazzed to have found you. I also want to reiterate that you need to decide what your dream client is, and make sure that that falls in line with where you want your business to truly go. If you say that your dream client is a bride and groom that's having a high-end ballroom wedding, but your heart really enjoys being outside, filming couples at waterfalls and beaches, and exploring with them during adventure sessions, then maybe your passion has become misaligned with where you want your business to go. Again, this is just my opinion, but I believe that your passion should line up with the direction of your business. This is where you will find the most fulfilling success. One final note before moving on to my next point. Some of you out there might be saying, Stanton, how is this information applicable to me if I only have a few weddings to show because I just recently started being a wedding videographer? That's a great point, because you probably should continue sharing what you have to grow your name and brand in your area first. Establish yourself as a wedding videographer, and then start curating your business to attract clients outside your local area. It can be risky to start minimizing your shared portfolio when you don't have much to go off of, and I didn't do this in the beginning either. However, keep watching this video because there's a lot I've yet to say that can help out veterans in the field or beginners alike in trying to find destination wedding clients. Thirdly, and this is my last point on change, I promise, but we need to change how we see ourselves in the wedding industry. I want to offer a different way of looking at this, so hear me on this real quick. Just because we are a wedding videographer, it doesn't mean that we are qualified to be shooting in other places around the world. Sure, our work is special to us, but really at the end of the day, we are just wedding videographers, and we are literally everywhere in this entire world. Why is someone that's going to get married in Cabo going to choose someone from a small town in Tennessee to film their wedding? If you aren't getting any destination wedding clients and you're just showing normal work from your area, it makes sense that you're not booking destination wedding clients. They shouldn't be coming to you. Of course they're going to go look for people out there that are either more qualified than you or someone that resonates more with what they are looking for. Let me present it to you this way. If you were an eye doctor in Los Angeles and you were wanting to get a job in New York City as a brain surgeon, do you think someone is going to look at your resume and even think about hiring you? Of course not. Just because you have the word doctor in your job description doesn't mean that you're qualified to be operating on someone's brain. It's kind of the same with wedding videography. And while the analogy breaks down at a certain point, I want you to realize that your films and your brand are your resume for your potential clients. With that being said, your resume needs to be set up to show yourself accurately. So look over your resume, objectively see where you fit into the wedding industry, and maybe face the truth that right now you're just qualified to be shooting weddings locally, at least in the eyes of your potential destination wedding clients, and right now that's okay. So right now you might be like, okay Stanton, thanks for letting me know I'm a local wedding videographer and that I need to change things. But we're this far into the video and you haven't given me that secret sauce to start getting destination wedding leads. Well, I may have given you more than you might be thinking I have, but I'm kind of trying to reverse engineer the problem here. You see, if you don't change your mindset on literally everything about your business, you won't be set up to start doing things differently to push yourself into a new market such as with destination weddings. And I know a lot of you might only have local work to show on your resume, so how are you even to break into an industry that requires you to showcase work that appeals to destination wedding clients? Another great question. Point number 4, start asking around with your friends, acquaintances, people in your family, your church, at the dog park, wherever. Start probing your circle to see if you know of anyone that is planning a non-local travel wedding anytime soon. In the age of COVID, and just as a general manifestation of our travel-influenced world, people are doing destination weddings and elopements a lot more than they were even 3 to 4 years ago. So the harvest is plenty, and I promise you that they are out there. This is where the rubber meets the road. You have to start putting in effort that's been different than what you've been doing in the past. You have to put yourself out out there and ask questions, maybe dig a bit, do some research, network, and the list could go on. But you have to do work for this, and you have to do something different. And if nobody's asking you to film their destination wedding, then you have to be the one asking to film their destination wedding. I'm going to say that one more time because that's important. If nobody is asking for you to film their destination wedding, then you have to be the one asking to film their destination wedding. You have to will yourself into becoming a destination wedding videographer, and the only way that you can do this is through taking action if it hasn't already happened to you. Point number 5, and this is where people really get led astray, and there's a lot of varying viewpoints on it, and that is that you should offer to do it for free. If money is not talked about in the beginning, you should basically be begging this client to film their wedding. Again, you bring nothing to the table other than being a guy that can hold a camera that lives in their area. Why would they also pay you and pay for your travel when you have nothing on your resume that shows that you're qualified to be doing what you're doing? If the rubber hit the road earlier, then this is where your passion will proverbially hit the road and you really find out how much you want this. I've done mentor sessions with people that have come to me and asked, hey, I've got this really cool destination wedding lead for Puerto Rico, but they don't want to cover my travel and they only have $1,000 budget. What should I do to convince them to pay me more? Because at that price point, it's not worth it to me. You do not want this mindset. If you want that portfolio piece, if you want that amazing wedding to put on your YouTube to start attracting clients, you have got to stop thinking about money for like 3 seconds and do something because it's going to be good for your business and the longevity of where you are headed. How far will your passion take you in this? How much do you really want to become a destination wedding videographer? Because if you haven't ever booked a destination wedding and you're asking people to pay you to be out there for multiple days on the most important day of their life, you might be asking a lot more than you're probably aware of. Do it for free. Get the portfolio piece and move on with your business. Yes, I know that we all have rent to pay and families to take care of, but not every opportunity is going to compensate us fairly for our time. You have to put in effort in the beginning to get to that point where you are compensated fairly for your time. And if you're out there and you're saying, don't do stuff for free because it's going to water down the market, just stop. These clients aren't the ones that you're wanting to book anyway, and there's so many people getting married year over year. I promise you, you're going to be fine. Now, I tread lightly speaking on point number 6 because if you abuse this one and you do it wrong, I'm gonna have a massive bone to pick with you. If you've never booked a destination wedding, can't find anyone in your area that is having a travel wedding, or you've already tried offering to do it for free to them, but to no avail, it's time to do what should be our last resort in this. Point number 6, reach out to vendors in the area that you are wanting to film a wedding. I hope that you see why I'm treading lightly and telling you to do this, and why I want this to be a last resort, because if everyone starts doing this and it becomes too spammy, vendors in these cool places are gonna get spammed a ton by videographers, and this won't ever work again or be a good thing. Plus, we also want to be respectful to them as people and what they are doing. But let me explain this one by telling you a bit about my story. Back when I began, I lived in West Tennessee with nothing more than about 4 to 5 weddings on my portfolio to show. With over 20 weddings on the calendar for that future year, I knew I had the safety net of these weddings, but I also knew where my passions were, and I loved travel while also filming weddings, and I knew I wanted to get into the destination wedding world. So I began carving my own path since I had nothing to go off of to show that I was a destination wedding videographer. I loved to travel, and so I had planned a trip to Iceland with a friend for about 8 days. Because I knew I was going to be there, I googled Iceland wedding planner and wrote a very sincere, personalized, and straightforward message to every email I could get a hold of on the first 3 to 4 pages of Google. This is about 50 emails, and it took me a long time to write 50 personalized emails, but I told each of them that I was a wedding videographer, and I was going to be in Iceland on these particular days, and that I'm looking to film a wedding there for free. I asked them if they had a bride and groom that hadn't booked a wedding videographer yet, and that I'd love to film their wedding completely for free in Iceland. And guess what? Literally no one got back to me except for one person, and she had the perfect couple for me. So to continue that story, I filmed that wedding, came back to the States, made a teaser from it, and I found out about some acquaintances getting married in Cabo that were looking for a videographer. I showed them my Iceland teaser and they loved it. They booked me, paid me $1,000, and paid for my travel to go to Cabo. And at that point in my life, that was mind-blowing to me. I was over the moon. I couldn't believe that I just got paid to film a destination wedding and they were covering my travel. I finished that teaser film months later, put it on Vimeo, tagged it properly, and I got a lead for a destination wedding in Tulum, Mexico. That bride shared her wedding teaser in a bride-to-be Facebook group, and it was over after that. I started getting leads all over the place, and that's what I attribute to how I became a destination wedding videographer. On the How to Film Weddings podcast, when talking with John Bunn and Nick Miller, I called that whole process a beautiful butterfly effect, and I really think it was. So I tell this story because I want to encourage you that it can happen at any time, and you never really know when your break is going to happen. So you have to assume it's always right around the corner, and you have to make it happen. So if nothing else has worked, try reaching out to vendors in a location you are planning to vacation to soon, or you're just wanting to go to, and let them know the same thing that I did when I went to Iceland. Be sincere, and once again, please do not use this as a first resort and treat this with respect. Please be respectful of the people that we are reaching out to and actually write them a personalized email. Point number 7, put effort into your website SEO, search terms, keywords for your videos on Vimeo and Facebook, and tag everything properly. When I shot that wedding in Cabo, I tagged as many relevant keywords as I possibly could think of, and it finally worked. Make sure that you're using relevant keywords too. Don't tag Mexico wedding videographer on a video that you made in Austin, Texas. That's not fair or right or cool. And it won't ever really work out in your favor because the people that are typing that in are looking for weddings in Mexico and will literally click right out of your video the second they realize it was basically clickbait. Point number 8, use hashtags. Again, this is a very simple one, but on platforms like Facebook and Instagram, brides are using them like search engines more often than we think. So think carefully about and be intentional in hashtagging your post. It works, I promise. I booked a lot of weddings from Instagram. If you've stuck around this long, I can tell that you really care about booking destination weddings. And if for some reason you feel kind of let down by the information that you heard here, I want to encourage you that this is the stuff that really will get you into the destination wedding industry. There hasn't been, nor will there ever be, a magic box that you open and out springs a ton of destination wedding leads. Like with all good things in life, this requires effort and work. And if you really want this, then I say go for it. I want you to feel how cool it is to be out there filming weddings in these amazing locations. Give this all of your effort and all of your passion. Just go out there and try it. It'll work if you really want it to. I hope you can see how, and I hope you can see why I reverse engineered my approach to tell you about this as well. You have to change your mindset on the destination wedding industry, your business, and where your business currently lies within it first. Next, you really need to figure out what your passion is, who your dream client is, and where you want your business to go. With that in mind, you can clean up your storefront and try to get your resume in tip-top shape. After that, now armed with true passion and a desire for change in the direction of your business, you put the effort in. This effort is now fueled by real drive and motivation because you defined to yourself what you want and where you are headed. You reach out to as many people as you can and find out if there's anyone getting married outside your local area. Since you are doing this to drive your business into a new direction, and because you are passionate about it, you do it for free. If you're still coming up fruitless, as most successful people see at some point in the process, you come to your last resort. You pick a spot that you want to film a wedding at, and you force yourself into the industry by offering to do it for free to local vendors. Lots of people are still planning weddings without videographers these days, and a planner will be thrilled to offer a videographer to our destination wedding bride completely for free. Now, film that wedding, crush it, put it on your portfolio, tag it well, and use perfect hashtags. Back-end work of all this is just as important as the front end to keep the momentum going. So I hope you can see a bit of a roadmap that I laid out, and I hope you can see why I spent so much time explaining why change on various levels is so important. Without that, you would think I was crazy for saying to offer your services for free, but when you are fueled with real drive and hunger for what you want, free is the easiest yes that you will ever say. Guys, I sincerely hope that you were able to find something beneficial from this video. I literally tried to tell you everything that I possibly could think of to help you book destination weddings. Remember, this is just my take on what you should do, and I'm sure there are other ways to book destination weddings. Once again, feel free to join our community for destination wedding videographers using the link in the description of this video, and subscribe to the channel, and maybe give this video a thumbs up if it was beneficial to you at all. Once again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.